names are Grace Biglin.
Bender.
Kaya McMillan.
Nicole Freshcorn.
And today we're talking about the relationship between social media and violence. The usage of social media has had a significant impact on the escalation of violence. Investigations being brought to the media world with millions of opinions by young people can cause damage to families, young people, others' opinions, and the outlook of the criminal justice system. The cognitive thinking behavior provided by the minds of criminals put on social media could influence the world on how we go about crime, causing a risk in the increase of criminal behavior involving actions such as harassment, threats, revenge porn, access to private locations, hate groups, victim blaming, secondary victimization, and fame-seeking criminals. As social media platforms keep progressing, criminal justice officials find it challenging to keep up with how the public perceives crime and victimization issues. Next, we're going to talk about some cases.
Any studies done to help provide a correlation between social media and violence? A commonly used study to provide data is to have a group play video games like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto, which show that after playing a violent video game, there was a rise in violence in those individuals, showing the impact it had on the teenagers and the charges they later received as an adult. Those who did not play a video game showed a much smaller amount of aggression compared to the people who did, showing these by the ones that didn't use violent video games to be successful and nonviolent. The second case is a study of children who they interviewed for 3 years and recorded their behavior each year, having part of the group watch The Walking Dead or other popular violent TV shows. As they grew older, they found that there was an increase in the aggression of both boys and girls who watched television violence compared to the ones that didn't. The other group who did not watch violent TV shows or admire the learning programs or PBS Kids without any violent scenes or acts. They then followed up with this group 15 years later and found out that the ones that watched violent shows grew to be aggressive adults as well. Now we will be talking about the statistics.
11% of the males had been convicted of a crime compared to 3% for other males. 42% had pushed, grabbed, or shoved their spouse in the past year compared to 22% of other males. And 69% had shoved a person when made angry in the past year compared to 50% of other males. For females, 39% of high violence viewers had thrown something at their spouse in the past year compared to 17% of other females. And 17% had punched, beaten, or choked another adult when angry in the past year compared to 4% of the other females. This helps provide statistics on the ways that watching violent television causes more aggression. And next we'll conclude that social media is
There have been a few short-term effects that have been shown that link social media to violence. These consist of the priming process, the arousal process, and the immediate mimicking of specific behaviors. The priming process has shown that when media violence primes aggressive concepts, aggression is more likely. The mimicking of specific behaviors has also been shown to be associated with social media leading to violence. When children are young, they have been found to mimic the behavior they witness. So if they see violent game shows or acts, they will more likely act that same way, providing entertainment but factual differences with both groups of children and how social media affects violence, including certain TikToks and YouTube videos as well, which we will provide here.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Jen, and welcome back to 60 Second Psychology, where I explain a theory, concept, or psychological phenomenon in just 60 seconds. Today's topic, the effects of media violence. With the recent political riots in 2021, you may be wondering what the effects of media violence are on people, from children to adults. Some have argued that media violence has no effects on viewers' behaviors. Others believe that viewing media violence actually has a cathartic effect that decreases viewers' violent tendencies out there in the world. However, in social psychology, research on observational learning has generally shown that viewing media violence actually increases aggression because it provides viewers with models for aggressive behaviors. Psychologists and researchers led by Raoul Hoosman conducted a study on the link between children's exposure to TV violence and their aggressive and violent behavior in young adulthood. The study found that the extent to which children watched violent TV shows predicted their criminality and aggressiveness as adults. Other studies have found evidence that media violence affects everyone's attitudes and behaviors. For instance, frequent viewing of media violence leads to a tendency to judge aggressive retaliation as a positive thing. So what does this mean? The more violent media content children watch, the more aggressive they may become. Media violence can slowly change your attitude on aggression or physical retaliation. To summarize, the effects of media violence are real and serious. You may want to be careful about what you watch and how much media coverage of violent events you consume. Have you ever seen or experienced this phenomenon before? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey everyone, it's Dr.
Six insane murders caused by social media. Social media has transformed our society. From the way we communicate, spend time with friends, find new people, and more, it's become a part of our lives. While social media has its advantages, it also has its flaws. These are six insane murders caused by social media. Number six, Edward Richardson. It was May of 2008 when Sarah Richardson's body was found inside her home. She had over 40 lacerations and stab wounds. The delivery girl reported finding both broken glass and blood at the home, so police were called. When news of Sarah's murder became public, it shocked the peaceful and quiet neighborhood of Staffordshire, England. 40 minutes after the discovery of her body, police got another call saying a man who was a victim of a knife attack was found in a field all bloody. The injured man turned out to be 41-year-old Edward Richardson, Sarah's husband. He had suffered cuts all around his neck, and police were determined he was trying to commit suicide. Authorities took him to the hospital, and then later he was arrested. During the interviews, he told officers he stabbed his wife but couldn't remember why he did it. When he was told his wife had died, he was distraught. According to police, the two had broken up. Friends say Sarah still loved Richard, but there were serious problems in the marriage, and Sarah didn't want to be part of it anymore. With that, she started ignoring Edward's text messages. Then later, she changed her Facebook relations status to single. This triggered something within Edward, and he decided to pay Sarah a visit. He entered the home by breaking the front door window. The moment he entered, he looked for Sarah and found her in the bedroom. He attacked her and brutally stabbed her with a knife. Afterward, he turned to suicide. Edward was arrested for the murder. The case shocked many because changing a relationship status seemed like the last thing that could result in murder, but it was certainly the case here. Richardson was found guilty of murdering Sarah and sentenced to a minimum term of 18 years in prison. Number 5.
Thank you very much for watching.